Our next candidate for District 17 is incumbent Congressman Tom Rooney. Congressman.
Well, thank you very much. I want to thank the Economic Council for inviting me here tonight, and obviously, you know, the economy and everything that we've tried to do over the last 3.5 years is going to manifest itself in November. You know, I just listened to that speech, and it's interesting. There's not one thing that he just said that I disagree with, and there's not one thing that he just said that I don't think that we've been working very hard over the last 3.5 years to accomplish. I've got a 100% voting record with the Chamber of Commerce. The number one issue is going to be about jobs and the economy this November. I think that the Economic Council would stand by my record and stand by the things that we've tried to do in Washington, D.C. over the last 3.5 years. It's one thing to say that, you know, if you have a problem with Washington, D.C., then we're just going to throw all the bums out. It's easy enough to say. There's a lot of good people that serve in Congress. There's a lot of good people that have been fighting hard over these last several years that Barack Obama's been our president, that have been trying to fight in tooth and nail to stop the socialist agenda that he's put forward. And so, I just want to sort of try to put this evening in context. We are at a crossroads in this country. Some say that this is the most important election of our lifetime. I would say it might be the most important election in the history of our republic. There's no doubt that we are moving in the wrong direction. Every poll says that. The policies of this president, Nancy Pelosi and Harry Reid, have taken us in a strong tack to the left. You all elected me in 2008. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Okeechobee County. And that's a fact, and I appreciate that. But since then, this government has expanded more from the time of George Washington to George W. Bush combined. We've seen it with socialized medicine and Obamacare. We've seen it with the National Labor Relations Board and pandering to the unions, and we've seen it with overzealous regulations and the rules that Obama tries to put in, like with the EPA, that so many people here are suffering with. And like I said, spending has quadrupled over the last 3 years. And to pay for this, Obama wants you to pay more taxes. And I agree with Joe. Taxation, more taxes isn't the answer. We don't have a revenue problem in Washington, we have a spending problem. So higher taxes is not the answer. It's not the answer for Obama to say that you need to pay your fair share if you make over $250,000 a year. Guess what? Those are the small business owners. Those are the people that are going to get employees into their company if they feel confident that they can expand. And by the way, a tax increase for Obama is really just a bailout for his bad policies. We've all heard that we can't afford President Obama. We can't. That's obvious. But the real question is, why would you want to afford it? Why would you want socialized medicine? Why would you want some of the rules that he's trying to put into place? Because once the government gets their meat hooks in, it's very difficult to get them back out. That's not what our republic was founded on. Freedom from the government. The Constitution was written to be a limiting document of the government, not an empowering document. It tells us what we cannot do from Washington, not what we can do. And once these laws and once these new entitlements come into play and once these rules come into play, it's very difficult to reverse them. In 2010, we laid a foundation. We took back the House, but we didn't have the Senate. Harry Reid hasn't proposed a budget in over 3 years. Paul Ryan's proposed a budget in the House every year since I've been there. We cannot tell Harry Reid what to do. We've sent over 40 bills to the Senate to try to get this economy back moving again. He hasn't taken up one of them, and let alone with the president signing into law. So it's no wonder that we're at 9% approval rating. It's no wonder that being equal to Hugo Chavez and just a few ticks up from Fidel Castro, it's easy to say throw the bumps out. But to use a football analogy, if you have a losing season, you don't chunk the whole team out the window and say we're going to start over. You take your good players and you lay a foundation. And there's some good people up there like Paul Ryan, like Alan West and Marco Rubio, who've endorsed my candidacy, that I think is a good start. You all know my background. I'm not going to go into resume, and plus I just got the 1-minute warning. But I went to the University of Florida. I served 4.5 years on active duty in the Army. I taught constitutional law at the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. I ran a shelter for abused children, much like the Okeechobee Real Life Boys Ranch here in Palm Beach County. It's a 50-bed facility. I dedicated my life to public service. Thomas Jefferson said, to those who much is given, much is expected in return. Elections aren't just about a referendum. It's about who has the best vision about going forward. I serve on the Armed Services Committee, the Agriculture Committee, where I'm chairman of Livestock and Dairy. I sit on the Intelligence Committee, which I'm the youngest member appointed to that, and I'm also the youngest member of leadership. These are really hard things that we've had to try to do to get accomplished over the last 3.5 years. I hope that you'll stand by me again so we can finish the job, get rid of President Obama, get rid of Senator Nelson, get a new senator, and allow us to finish the job that we started. This is a tough fight, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm ready for the fight. Thomas Paine once said, if these are going to be hard times, let them be now so that our children can live in peace. I hope you all give me that chance. Thank you.